Midway is a truly great war movie for multiple reasons. As a history buff, I enjoyed Midway because it was historically accurate and very fun to watch. The animation was incredible, with the special effects being almost perfect. The action is intense and very enjoyable to watch, with my only complaint being that some of the battle scenes are too short. But what I liked most about this movie is how historically accurate it was. The movie is based off of true events. I used to watch a show called Battle 360, which followed the story of a U.S. aircraft carrier named USS Enterprise, which, during World War II, was in the Pacific Theater and was actually in this movie quite a lot. In that show, I learned a lot about the events in the Pacific Theater, which is how I was able to judge how historically accurate Midway is. Those scenes that many may have thought to have just been added to make the movie more enjoyable are actually true. The scene where Bruno Gaidis jumped in the back of a plane and shot down the Japanese suicide bomber was historically spot on. So was the scene where Bruno Gaidis was drowned, although I don't think he actually told the Japanese to F themselves before they threw him in. At the beginning of the film, Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto mentioned how Japan would have to act if the US cut off its oil supply. It then jumped to the attack on Pearl Harbor, which my only problem with is that I think they should have shown some scenes for when the US froze the Japanese assets on July 26, 1941, and when the US put in an embargo on oil and gasoline to Japan on August 1st, 1941. Both actions were in response to Japan's occupation of French Indochina after the Vichy regime, which was the puppet government to Germany, agreed to the Japanese occupation. Adding something about that would have added better context to the events leading up to Pearl Harbor. I really liked how the movie showcased some of the combatants' personal lives. By doing this, the movie was able to explain what they were feeling during these events. It helps you better relate to the characters and what they're going through. The action is fun and intense. I liked pretty much every battle scene in the movie. The scene where 16 B-25 Army bombers took off from the aircraft carrier actually surprised me a bit, as I wasn't expecting to see anything about the Doolittle raid on Japan in the movie. The battle scenes can get your heart moving quicker with their intensity. The special effects, especially for the battle scenes, are amazing. They make it feel like you're watching the actual battle. The soundtrack is overall pretty good, but it doesn't necessarily fit in with every part of the movie. There were a few parts where I thought the music fit in oddly, and other parts where it wasn't even noticeable. Compare that to fellow war movie Dunkirk, where I felt the soundtrack fit in perfectly in every single scene, and was very noticeable, which helped make me feel more in tune with the movie and overall made the movie much better than it could have been without the soundtrack. The ending did a great job, as it explained what happened to the characters after the Battle of Midway, and the music fit in well with this part. Overall, I definitely recommend seeing Midway, as you can learn a lot from the movie, and it is a lot of fun to watch. My overall rating is 9 out of 10, with it being close to achieving 10 out of 10.